It's your boy Charlie B, and you're locked in with the Trey Fam Podcast.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Trey Fam Podcast. I'm your host, Rashawn. I'm very excited for my next guest, as he's one of the top DJs in the world. He's worked with the likes of Lloyd, Keisha Cole, Drake, Rick Ross, and many more. Also probably know him for the I Love R&B and I Love Reggae series. None other than DJ Charlie B. Welcome to the show, my boy.
Happy to be here, man. Where's the audience, man? No clapping? Are you gonna?
I got you, bro. We got some spectators too.
No, I'm kidding.
JKD, shout out, bro, for making this happen, bro. I appreciate you doing this. Let's get right into it, bro. You know, what first pulled you into DJing, and what was that journey like for you to get into this, bro?
I don't know if it was particularly music. I think I used to go to events and like see how it made people feel and how people kind of understood the music.
Yeah.
Like if you look at people that go to parties, like a lot of them, you don't even know them. You don't know what the day that they had.
Yeah.
If they're happy, depressed, sad, you don't know anything. But when the right song plays or the right DJ plays the right music, everyone kind of feels the same. We all kind of come together. So I think that's what got me into it.
Was that something that always was resonating with you, or something that just kind of happened like over time? Was there any other like career options?
Well, I mean, my older brother was a DJ, so we shared a room.
Nice.
And we kind of like when he wasn't home, I'd play on this stuff
Yeah.
and so forth. But I think when I really got into it was when I started going to parties.
Yeah.
And the way that I'd get into parties was I would like, it'd be like an after hours setting.
Yeah.
So in order for me to get in there, I never even knew it was an after hours. I thought it was just a club and people come at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
So I'm
yeah.
like 17, but I'd basically have to pick up bottles like after 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But I had no idea what was happening. But I think that like seeing how the DJ would make the audience feel is what got me to like want to do it more and pursue it.
So talk to me about that. Like, you know, what was that experience like for you? And, you know, how difficult was it for you at the start, or was it something that just kind of like came natural for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think anything in life is difficult.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just consistency and kind of figuring out your direction. I think that for me, it was like once I figured out where I wanted to go, it was easier for me to kind of get there. But once you kind of get there, it's more like, how do you maintain that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that was the more kind of tougher part.
Do you remember one of your first parties I got to DJ on?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first party I ever played was a party I threw myself.
Oh, nice.
So like obviously in high school, like everyone has a network. Well, I have the ability to have a network.
Yeah.
So I used to throw a lot of all ages parties during that time, and like my whole school would go to the parties.
Yeah.
So the best feeling was like having people that you kind of grew up with hear you DJ.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So talk to me about like even that time, you know, like, because obviously like promotion is probably so different too, to get your word around and people to know who you are and stuff. So what was that experience like for its time in trying to get people to recognize who you are as a DJ and building your brand at that time too?
I think the biggest word I'd say would be your reputation.
Yeah.
Right. That was the reputation came long before the content did, which is now, you know. So I think it's just like having the right relationships with people and, you know, knowing the right people. Like for me, it was like, who's the most popular kid in school?
Yeah.
Who's the most popular girl in school when I was like growing up as well? Like that had a big network. And you know, a lot of people, a lot of like little crews in high schools, like there's always like a leader.
Yeah.
And people kind of follow the leader. So it was, I had to make sure I was cool with all those people.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So what kind of genres were you listening to when you started?
Yeah, I'd say more so like hip hop, R&B, dancehall was kind of, and a bit of soca for sure. Yeah.
Nice. So with these parties and stuff, do you remember what kind of like crowd you were getting? Like what kind of they wanted to hear more so when you first started?
Yeah, I think it was more in the dancehall space for sure.
For sure, right? Yeah.
Like I started off playing that music first.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of it was because the actual vinyl at the time, they were 45s, they're a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And they were cheaper to buy because I couldn't afford the hip hop or R&B records that were more LPs, like 12-inch.
Yeah.
And those were like $13 for one song.
Holy crap.
But if I were to buy a 45, it was like $3 a 45. So you'd go to that record store and have like 15 records to go home with to play. Yeah.
So when you think about those experiences, right? And like how times have changed now, right? What's one thing that you feel like stood out to you when you look at like, oh shit, like this is so much different now than what it was so much harder back then, probably.
Yeah. I mean, if I can put some stuff into context for you, like I remember being 16 years old and working at McDonald's and working part-time and taking all the money I made there to go downtown to buy records and be broke for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
To try to get that next check to go back downtown again to go buy records again.
Yeah.
But if you look at the landscape now, it's like you don't really have to pay for music. You do, but you don't.
But no, you
Yeah,
still can. Yeah.
yeah.
So when you're DJing and stuff, right? Like, what's kind of like going through your mindset right before a set? I guess like maybe when you first started, and then obviously compared to now.
Honestly, to be honest, I don't think it's changed. I think for me, it was like make sure people have the best time. So I think
Yeah.
that whether I was like headlining an event or maybe warming up a party, in my earlier days, obviously I warmed up a lot, and that taught me more about humility and discipline, uh, opening for other people. Um, and then once you start playing more of the prime time, which is like the main set, like I obviously enjoyed,
Yeah, of course.
I enjoy that time, but at the same time, the more you do it, it's like you're playing the same 30, 40 records all the time because that's all they kind of wanted to hear.
Yeah.
And then I started missing kind of warming up for an audience because it kind of sets the tone for the actual party. But I think just to answer your question, I think for me, it was always just like not planning a set,
Yeah.
just freestyling and making sure the music tells a story. Not because two songs mixed, that means they're supposed to go together.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to kind of tell a story. So I'd play, okay, the first thing I'd always do is play for the ladies all the time.
All the time, yeah.
And then realistically start the set off that way, find a crew that's actually moving, and then it kind of just
resonates from there.
Yeah.
So talk to me about even like the Toronto club scene, like back then, obviously it was probably different, clearly. So talk to me about just what that was like for you getting to be a part of that and then seeing the changes over time.
Yeah, I mean, that's a loaded question. Like, do you mean like on a broad scheme, like in terms of like explain that?
So I guess I mean like in terms of maybe like how the crowd reacts, like if maybe there was more dancing back then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you see that. I think the difference between I get what you mean now. I think it's more then and now. It's like as a DJ in this time that we're in, you gotta try not to play because it's like you want to play more for the algorithm.
Yeah.
But you got to remember you're still playing in the room. So you got to make sure people have fun. I think that's the most important thing. But sometimes some DJs might be just chasing the algorithm. Back then, we didn't have an algorithm.
No, exactly. It was just based on your name and stuff.
And that's it, right? Like your reputation or what you could do or the relationships that you had, like leveraging those relationships as well, right? Like, okay, I'm going to do this for you. I need you to do this for me. Like that was a big thing. Yeah.
So what role does social media play now in a DJ success?
Everything, essentially. I mean, I think it's everything, right? It's your highlight reel, it's your resume, it's your audition, it's everything. So you have to make sure that your branding is on point, like your packaging is good. Like even for me in my come up, packaging was important as well.
Yeah.
I think I was more on the transition of, turntablism to like branding and marketing.
Yeah.
I kind of my generation was more starting into that part of it.
Yeah.
So I understood that. So for me, it was like, okay, if I'm a decent DJ and I can play music, that's cool, but I need to know how to market and brand myself. But marketing and branding now is it's a whole different story. Like you have so many different platforms from like TikTok to Snapchat to YouTube Shorts. Like it's a lot. And all these algorithms are different.
Yeah.
So you got to be sure and you got to know strategy.
Yeah.
What's my strategy for TikTok? What's my strategy for YouTube? What's my strategy for Instagram and so forth? Yeah.
And I think like that's probably one of the hardest things too from that transition is because every platform is so different and you don't know what video is going to hit. Like you might think one video that you actually post with a catchy song or good transition and stuff is going to hit and it doesn't. Is there any time where you are bothered by social media when it comes to that?
I think for me personally, I kind of just feel like at times I run out of ideas now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's like, okay, like you have had to reinvent yourself so many times.
Yeah. Yeah.
In so many different, different times that we're in. So it's like, I think it gets to a point where I'm a bit more intentional with the things that I do.
Yeah.
And kind of just want to do the things that I'm good at as opposed to like trying something that kind of isn't me. Because I find that with this industry and with social media, it's like staying yourself is like very hard.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
And that was actually going to be one of my next questions is, obviously with the more success that you're benefiting from and learning from because of obviously what your talent is bringing to the table, how do you still stay grounded and humble with all that going and the attention you're around?
I mean, I think at this point, I'm more living for legacy. That makes sense. I think that like I've been able to do what I've been able to do and continue to do. Not to say that, okay, I don't DJ anymore, but I'm at a point in my life where if something doesn't make sense, like
Yeah.
I'd rather not do it.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's just like, wait, hold on. What was your question again? You might have
No,
to cut this part out.
no.
Yeah.
So what I was
I don't
asking
want
was
to. Yeah.
was
Yeah.
I guess like how do you still stay grounded with
Okay.
the success? Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was getting there. So I think for me, like, I think staying grounded is more so just knowing that it can be taken away at any moment, because you can be, before there wasn't a lot of DJs. There was, but it wasn't like what it is now,
Yeah.
where it's like you can be talented and you can have a name, but someone can go viral in their living room and they can be worth more than you are now.
It's
So
crazy.
you just have to be grateful for all the moments and all the blessings, for sure. Yeah.
For sure, man. What's your take on the Toronto music scene right now? How do you feel about it?
I mean, I think that, like, I can't even say a thing. I know the talent is there.
Yeah.
The producers are there, the artists are there. I think it's the infrastructure that has issues, because a lot of artists will just build here and then go to America.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if there was more on the infrastructure side, I think that we'd be able to build more so that they wouldn't have to leave.
Yeah.
But it's hard, I mean, America's a very big place, and I think that like the population of California is the same as Canada.
Yeah.
California is only one state,
Yeah.
and they have 52 states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even I was gonna say too was like probably for back then too, like was there ever any time where you're like, yo, like I need to get out of here in order to make it? Or was that something?
Yeah, I mean, for a good maybe 5 years, I was back and forth between here and LA a lot.
Yeah.
And I met a lot of different people. I went to a lot of different events, and obviously with the DJing stuff, I've been fortunate to like DJ in like Miami at like 11, or at Live, or I played at Dre's in Vegas, and I did a bunch of really good spots in DC, and in Boston, just a whole bunch of different places. But I think that it's tough, because when Toronto is like my home base,
Yeah.
I like to be stationed here. Like I remember like having to DJ or 3 or 4 gigs in the States, and then come home for one day and just go back again, because I needed that reset to be home.
Yeah. And I think like because you don't seem like someone that will ever like forget your roots, and I think it's probably an important thing for you to bring parties down here. So talk to me about the I Love R&B series and even the I Love Reggae. Like, what was the concept behind the idea of having those parties?
I think what I Love R&B was more just a genre that I enjoy the most.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, I felt like R&B I can't say it was fully dying, but it just wasn't as prevalent.
It wasn't as popping as
Yeah. So I just figured that at that time that I wanted to create an event that would allow me to continue to still play those songs that I loved.
Yeah.
And then it kind of turned into something that I never thought it would.
Yeah.
And that's usually how it goes, right? You start a party, it starts with 50 people, and you kind of build it to a point now where it's pushing like 3,000 people.
And it's kind of like been your whole thing though too. It's just like you started somewhere and then it just slowly gravitated and built his own self by it.
Yeah. That's why I feel like passion outweighs anything that's not passion.
Yeah.
Like I'm passionate about R&B. Like I really love that genre of music.
Yeah.
And I love the way people react to it. So I feel like that's why that's continued to kind of work, because it's something that I really believe in and I'm passionate about,
And the kind of work already just speaks for itself. Who are some artists that you used to listen to that, was inspirational for you?
Man, there's a lot. There's a lot. But I think that like it depends on what genre of music we're talking about. But yeah, I think there's no specific artist. I think it's just a bunch of different
Just
ones.
a genre as itself.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was actually gonna ask you one of like if you had any stories of like maybe one of the wildest moments you probably had when you were DJing, if there was any.
A wild moment. I think there's a wild moment in a good way. I'd say it would be like, being in rooms that like you only heard about before, like being younger. Like I heard about like being a part of something like that's with a bunch of different artists and so forth. And then you understand how hard you've worked because you're actually in these rooms now. So that was pretty wild to me, where some of these artists are like my peers now, or I can text them, whereas before I only heard about certain events and couldn't get in there. And then you're like, man, like I'm at a party and there's so many A-list people here.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of wild. Like I remember a time when, remember Future, the rapper, had a show, and I have a relationship with him and his team at the time. And I remember just being in his dressing room, just talking to him. And then Kanye West just walking in.
Oh shit.
Just out of nowhere.
Wow.
Those are like the wow moments of like the wild moments you're talking about.
Yeah.
Where he literally just came up and just shook my hand, and I'm like, whoa, like it's Kanye
Just like-
West. So you kind of think about those moments, and you're like, man, I remember like just like buying his vinyl or his CD or whatever it is, and just him just walking in, just what's up, you know?
Yeah.
And not expecting it. That's the wild part, you know?
For sure, for sure. I know that even DJ Khaled was kind of like a mentor for you too. Like, talk about his impact on you in your relationship with him.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he's definitely someone that all of us kind of looked at in terms of his success, his grind, his hustle. Um, he's been able to kind of open the door for so many DJs, right?
Yeah.
Like prior to him, there was obviously like DJ Clue and a whole other DJs prior to that put out music. But for
Yeah.
my generation, I think growing up, was DJ Clue and Khaled that kind of and DJ Envy that kind of paved the way. DJ Drama as well.
Drama, yeah.
But yeah, I think all those DJs were super influential. I think that the good thing about all those DJs I mentioned, they're all, just a text away, which is great. If I need any type of advice or direction or how should I do something, they all kind of respond to me, which I really appreciate. So that means they appreciate my hustle and my hard work as
And
well.
they see your work too. And I think that's what's probably so cool is like knowing that you're able to have these relationships that used to be like people that used to watch and stuff on TV and look up to,
Yeah.
Even Drake, like, talk about working with him and, like what he has done for Canada as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say.
Yeah.
I think it's already in front of all of us. He's been able to I guess create a legacy that will never ever be forgotten. I think he's been able to do things that not many have been able to do.
Yeah.
He's broken a bunch of records. I've never seen this type of magnitude from an artist ever. Especially coming from where we come from. You know, he's walked the same streets as all of us and went through the same things we've been through. I mean, being from a country that never really got a lot of support from the other side, to kind of taking over it all. So I think that and did it all humbly, and that shows a lot.
And that's the thing, like you can tell even just how he carries about himself, the way he sticks to his people, but just his interactions, like he's continued to remain humble. And I think like it's dope to see that because that just means like you can have you don't have to have the biggest ego in the world. You know what I mean? Like you could still be a good person if you really want to be it,
No, definitely. For sure. I mean, look, like he's gotten so much fight for such a long time and continues to get fight. But I think that his consistency and just sometimes it's crazy to me to see what he's been able to do because, I feel like the odds are always stacked against him. And he's always having to raise the bar, his own bar.
That's it's competition with himself at this point,
Yeah.
And I still believe that. I think because of the run that he's had, we've never seen such a dominance for such a long period of time. Where I think it's fair to say that he is the greatest of all time. I believe that.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, I agree.
What artists did you enjoy working with most, and how your perspective was working with them?
Man, I mean, I think the most success as an artist for me putting up music myself would have had to been the song I had with Northside Benji, which went gold, and that was great. I mean, he's obviously a pleasure to work with, hard worker, very intelligent, understands how music is received, and knows the topics to talk about. Like at the time I could give him an idea and he'd be able to pretty much put it on a record better than I was able to kind of explain it, so him for sure. On the more global side, I'd say Car Najula, obviously I had signed him when I was at Warner, good friend of mine, and just if you've seen what he's been able to do
Killing
now.
it.
Yeah, so it's been good to kind of see him in his element. I remember going to India with him and seeing the love that he received from our homeland was really, really good. Seeing the way he's respected is good because he put in a lot of work.
How much does it mean to you to obviously represent for your heritage and culture too? I feel like that's incredible to see too.
No, it means a lot. I was born here. My dad was from New Delhi. Both of my parents were from New Delhi, really. And they moved to Canada and had me and my brother. So I kind of grew up more so multicultural, right? I grew up around Indians, Asian people, Latin people, so forth, Black people, whatever. Just different ethnic backgrounds. And I never really got to understand my culture until I got a little bit older.
Yeah.
Because I was born here. So having gone to India with Karan, like I'm like, whoa, I'm just seeing a different part of India. You know, like
Yeah.
we're in Mumbai, but we're staying at like the Four Seasons, and I'm like, man, like I never even knew Mumbai had a Four Seasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, no, it was great to see the other side, because when I would go to India to visit my family,
Yeah.
whether they're in New Delhi or they're in Lucknow or any of those places, you're just with family and they're older. You don't really see what's going on. Like
Elsewhere out there.
let's go to Taj Mahal. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah. But having that experience with him, like I saw the whole other side. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When was the last time you went to India before that?
Wow. I think I had gone maybe 2 years before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was because I had sent my mom to India
Yeah.
and I went there to bring her back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
like when it was time for her to come back, she's getting a little older, so I went there and spent 2 weeks there, and then I brought her back. Yeah.
How much does that mean to you to be in a position where you can obviously like take care of your parents and your family? How much does that mean to you, and how's that been?
I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, your parents, you know, they take care of you growing up.
Yeah.
So they say in life you're a child twice. So I think me getting older and now being in that position to take care of her, like it's my duty to do that.
Yeah.
So I think it goes without saying. It's something that you should do, you know? Of course, it's like, it's hard to like see it sometimes because you're like, man, like you used to tell me what to do. And
Yeah.
now like I'm at this point where I'm kind of telling you what to
Yeah.
do. Yeah. Yeah.
So just switching topics, there was one question I want to ask you about radio. Do you think it still has the same influence as it used to?
No.
Yeah.
I think radio at a certain point was one of like our main, I guess, gatekeepers.
Yeah.
I think with radio at the time, like radio could essentially change your life
Yeah.
because it was everything at a certain point. But now it's like fragmented. There's different things now. There's like obviously TikTok, there's YouTube Shorts, like we talked about,
Yeah.
Snapchat, Instagram. Like there's so many different platforms now where, not to cancel out radio in general,
Yeah.
it still has its relevance because there's nothing like hearing your song on the radio.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but it doesn't have the same impact. Like, you know, you can see stuff like, you know, the Breakfast Club, for example, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people would watch their interviews on YouTube. Like I would.
Yeah.
And I think that like, because we don't have their show on the radio here.
Yeah.
But I think that now they have a Netflix deal, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. Netflix probably seen them monetize all these videos and all the viewership that they've been getting on YouTube, and said, okay, let's just do this deal.
Do you think streaming has hurt us in a sense, or has it been better?
Well, I mean, like I was just talking to my boy before we got here, and he was like, you literally jump in your car and your Spotify's already connected to your car already.
Yeah.
And it's just playing already. So you just go with it. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like streaming's good, but then sometimes I feel like it isn't, because I feel like, you know, anyone can be an artist. You
Yeah.
wake up tomorrow and put out a song on Friday, and people could potentially hear it.
Yeah.
Like it could go viral. You could do one video on TikTok thinking it's not going to do anything, and all of a sudden, boom, the song goes crazy, and now you stream like crazy.
Yeah. And then people I've seen actually get like signed from like a song that they didn't even intend to like blow up, but it just does, right?
Yeah, and that's, you see, that's what can become a problem, where it's like, even on the DJ front, right? Like
Yeah.
you could go viral doing a mix, but you might not be able to essentially DJ at a club for 3 hours.
Yeah.
But you just did a mix that went insane, and now like, and I'm not trying to knock it. I just think development
Oh,
is
for sure.
different now,
Yeah.
because now you can go viral off of doing a mix, and now you got to learn how to do all this stuff quick because
Yeah.
all these bookings are coming in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too, is like, just because you have maybe like a social media presence and you think it doesn't translate into what is actually happening in real time too.
Yeah, that's why I think it's important to understand your identity and knowing how to be consistent with what you're doing, because that's what people are going to remember.
Yeah.
They're not going to remember the viral moments. They're going to remember like how consistent you kept it.
Yeah.
You know, if that makes sense. I think it's more, people are going to remember you for, you know, your consistency and things you've been able to do, because that's going to define who you are, not a viral moment, because the news cycle is quick now.
And that's another thing, right?
Yeah.
Is like, how do you still find ways to be creative in an attention span that goes like that?
Yeah, I mean, that's just it.
Yeah.
You have to be able to be as passionate as you are to DJ as you are to be a creator.
Yeah.
Because now, being a creator, is stronger than being just the talent now,
Yeah.
because there's people that, you know, might not be great at doing what they're doing in terms of their talent, but they're so good at being a creator
Yeah.
that it could balance itself out.
Yeah. And I think what's so crazy is the fact that you've obviously seen how the industry has changed, right? How has it for you been being able to adapt into this creator role now too? Have you enjoyed the process? Was it difficult for you to adjust to?
Honestly, it has its challenges. I think you get to a point where when you've been doing it for a certain amount of time, you can kind of say, right, this is not for me, or this is for me.
Yeah.
And that's okay too, right? You got to understand where you're at. That's kind of where I'm at, where I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm going to take bookings if it makes sense for me, but I'm not going to just take a booking just to be busy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more intentional now, I'd say. Like, I remember the time of, like, if I'm not DJing for a weekend, I'd be losing my mind, because I'd be like, oh, like, I'm supposed to be booked all month, you
Yeah.
know? But then you get to a point where you want to move intentional, because I'm in the legacy mode right now. Like, everything that I do has to resonate and it has to last.
And it has to make sense.
Yeah, for sure. That's the biggest part, because it's like, you can just be busy, but it doesn't mean that you're getting paid.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you're moving the needle. Like, I got to a point with DJing where I'm like, if it doesn't make me a bigger DJ, I don't want to do it. And I don't care if it's money or not.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do, because you're refusing money. But if it's not going to make me bigger than I am, then what's the point in doing it? Because I'm not going to have fun doing it. I'm just going to go there. What time do I need to be there? 1 o'clock? 1 to 2? Cool. I'm get there 1 to 2, play, get my money, and leave.
Yeah.
And that eliminates the passion part of it.
And that was probably gonna be one of my next questions
Yeah.
is like, when that happens, like, where do you find that passion? Like, how do you maneuver with that? Like, you have to find a way to keep yourself and want that more, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I ask that question to myself a lot too, because I see a lot of DJs that are even older than me, for example.
Yeah.
And when I look at some of their content clips, it looks like they're having the time of their life. And they might be.
Yeah.
But there might be some saying, I just need to get this money. This is all I've invested my time into.
Yeah.
And this is all they got to do. So for me, like, I always wanted to be able to have different things that I could do. That's why when I was coming up, I was like, I don't want to just be the DJ. I want to learn how to throw parties. And I learned how to throw parties. Then I was like, okay, I want to be a tour DJ for an artist, which I did.
Yeah.
And then it turned into, I want to expand my network, started meeting different people. I want to get into artist development. I want to be a road manager. Like, I just wanted to learn every pillar of what was around me.
Yeah.
So that if I wanted to transition, I could do that. Where
At
it's
any
like,
point.
okay, well, you know, I was a director of A&R at Warner for 3.5 years. But during that time, I kind of focused more on being an A&R.
Yeah.
Which is when I signed, you know, an artist like Karn, for example, and he
Yep.
broke all these records, like most streamed Punjabi artist on Spotify 2 years in a row, or
Crazy.
won a Juno and performed at the Junos. Like, me being a Juno award-winning A&R, like, that was huge. Like, he broke so many records, not just for the Punjabi culture, but in general.
In general. Yeah.
Yeah, selling out Scotiabank in like 7 days.
Yeah.
And you see where he is now. But I'm saying, like, during that time, like, I took time to really focus on A&Ring. And I think that for me, it was like, the biggest thing comes down to trust.
Yeah.
Like, if people don't trust you, they're not going to do it. At the time, it was more, you know, an artist like that is already making money. He's already famous amongst his community. Like, what can you do for him?
Yeah.
Because money's not going to do it. He's already making money.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to, him and his team are going to have to trust you in signing for it to make sense.
Yeah.
And I think that that's why being consistent in who you are and what you do is important, because you can, you know, you can put a damper on your name if you're not consistent with being positive and
Keeping your word
building
in a
that
sense.
trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously we're talking about trust and stuff. Like, you know, in this industry, it's probably hard to find true, genuine relationships.
Yeah.
You know, talk to me about what that experience has been like with you and learning over time, and how do you still remain humble and, you know, forgiving in a sense when maybe some things have crossed.
I think in this industry, a lot of the relationships are transactional, but you don't really know it sometimes,
Yeah.
because you're the one providing opportunity for everybody.
Yeah.
So you could be somebody that's providing opportunity for, say, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 DJs. Because I remember a time when I was coming up and we never got any opportunity from the guys that were before us.
Yeah.
So we had to build that door and create that opportunity. And I was the guy to do it.
Yeah.
Or one of them, per se. There was a few of us. But I think for my, you know, for the people that was rolling with me, I opened the door and I said, all right, I'm going to throw parties and you guys are going to play all these parties. And we built that. And what happens is, once you start hiring all these DJs, people start seeing what your formula is. and all these other promoters want to hire the guys that you're hiring.
Mm.
So you're essentially helping build other careers while you're building yours.
Yeah.
But imagine doing it for a very long time, like more than a decade.
Yeah.
And you're talking to these people every day and everything's cool and whatever. But, you know, sometimes in life when things happen, you get to reflect and think about situations and you're like, wait, are you friends with me or just the opportunity?
Yeah. It's just because of the opportunity.
And I think that a lot of people, and you know what? Everyone do what they want to do. Like, it is what it is. I just feel like people are, in fact, friends with opportunity more than they are friends with you. And that comes down to throwing parties, right?
Yeah.
You can throw a party up until this day, you know, people will call you and ask you for free tickets for parties.
Yeah.
It always happens all the time. But I think that they don't care about how you're doing. They want you to fulfill what they want. They want to come to a party for free.
Yeah.
And they want you to do that for them.
And then having that name where it's like, yo, my boy, he's running the party. I get to like roll with him, part of his crew and be associated.
But even if it's not that, even if it's someone that doesn't ask you how you're doing on a Monday morning, they just want their tickets to go to the party. So you have to not take it personally and understand what it is.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, you have to get what you need to get out of it too. That's something that I learned where it's like, okay, you want free tickets? No problem. I need you to post this on your Instagram story with the ticket link now.
Yeah.
Like if you do that, then I'll give you the tickets. But it's like, now it's like, it's business.
Yeah.
You know? So it's hard because sometimes the lines get blurred.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if it's friendship or it's business, or if it's like, do I take this personally or do I just take this as business? But I think the more that I've grown, I've understood that this is business.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to categorize your friendship groups.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the people I grew up with. These are the people I do business with. These are the people that I shoot the shit with. Whatever it is. Yeah. But I think that it's more, you have to categorize that because you can't expect one from the other. That makes sense.
I think that's what I'm kind of learning now too, as I'm kind of like building my brand and stuff, is that people are associating me now because of maybe what I have going on and stuff. So it's kind of hard to resonate and process which one's actually real and genuine. But I like what you said though, is just like, you just treat it as a business in a way, and you know who your true people are because they'll support you.
Yeah, I agree. So, I think that's what it comes down to. At the end of the day, you're going to know what's real and what isn't. Yeah. But sometimes it's hard to know because when you're the person providing the opportunity, you just want to continue to provide opportunity. There's nothing better than like putting a smile on someone's face or putting money in their pocket. Yeah. That's just the way I look at things. I've always looked at it that way. So it's tough. But sometimes you just got to be like, okay, like you need to help yourself first. Yeah. Because I've always been the person where I want to help other people first. And it got to a point where like I was forced to like try to look out for myself first. Yeah.
But sometimes it's hard to like even think about that, because when you're used to kind of like taking care of things and always being that helpful hand because where you come from, like you're not thinking in the light of like, oh, like, and people taking advantage of me, you know, like you're not thinking like that.
You're just thinking, oh, I'm just going to help them. That's my people. Yeah.
So obviously, you know, shout out to you for having Tyla. She's coming down Caribana weekend, Saturday, August 1st at Cabana, right? What does that mean to you to have her coming down, and what can people expect for that?
Well, I think for someone like Tyla, it's like an evolution, right?
Yep.
Like, again, it's more global. Like she's in the Afro space, she's in the pop space, she can dance. Like I think it's like when you're curating a room like that, like Cabana is like pretty much the biggest outdoor, I guess I can't even say patio, like a pool bar.
Pool bar, yeah.
In Canada, I'd say. You know, there's one in Montreal as well. I don't know how big it is. I haven't been. Yeah. But Cabana is obviously the most notable one in Canada. And I think that like when you're curating an event like that, you want everything to align and make sense. So when we were kind of planning what we wanted to do with this event, she was the first person that hit my brain. Like, and usually it takes a while. It's like, okay, we're trying to rack our brain. And then I just say, okay, I'm gonna leave this, and it just comes to me. Yeah. But this time it came to me right away. Yeah. And then you know, and that was like a month and a half process to lock down. Like it's not easy. You got to deal with the agent, and you got to figure out all the things that they need for this to happen. And there's times where you can just be like, yeah, like I'm not even trying to do this because it's so much work. Yeah. But then you're like, I didn't come this far to come this far. Yeah. You know, I got to close the deal, and I'm happy. It's worked out, and it's going to be a great event because I feel like she'll be able to. I can't even say I feel. I know she's going to be able to appease.
Kill it, yeah. She's going to kill it,
yeah,
yeah. And you know what's so cool, man? Like I love that you're bringing all these people down. Like, even working with Kalani and stuff. Like it's so dope to see, and I can only imagine like how much work has to go into this planning, and then when you see the actual event, how it turns out, like how much does that mean to you when the event happens after and you just have like a moment to like sit with it, like, oh, this really just happened?
Before, I never used to think about it because I'd always be chasing the next win.
What's next now? Yeah.
But I think I got to a point where like I really take time to appreciate, wow, like we really did that. Like, let's celebrate it, even if it's a small dinner or just a small little celebration for something like that. Because
Yeah.
I feel like you're always gonna want to continue to succeed if you're obviously a hard worker and you work hard.
Yeah.
But you got to embrace every moment because you don't know if that moment's gonna come back again.
Yeah.
And I think even with like I Love R&B, like booking all those artists for I Love R&B, a lot of them I kind of grew up on.
Yeah.
So to actually see them and be like, I'm putting money in your pocket and you're performing at my event, it makes me feel good because I know that there's a lot of people that are coming to these parties, maybe people I went to school with or people I've known from around the way that are consuming these songs from these artists differently because it takes them back to a time
Yep.
where they're like, oh, this is when, I don't know, like I was graduating college or I was in this relationship or whatever it is.
Like I was gonna tell you what a story actually too. Like Lloyd was such a big inspiration for me. Like when I must have been like grade 6 or grade 5, right?
Yeah.
And Street Love album was one of the first albums I ever bought.
Yeah.
When you came out, so when I saw that you guys had him and stuff, I was like, bro, this is so dope. Like it was, like it was so dope to see, man.
Yeah, and it's good to see a lot of these early 2000s R&B artists get their flowers.
They deserve it, yeah.
Yeah, because they left a huge impact. Like I remember when those songs came out and to see to be able to bring them. Like for example, we're bringing Jagged Edge in July and like I've been trying to book them for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And I'm happy it's happening now, but it's more, it brings you back to that time because a lot of the times you can't get that feeling back again,
No.
Yeah.
And that's what's so cool too, is like you're having these opportunities that you didn't think probably were possible. Was there anyone that maybe had you like starstruck at all when you got a chance to meet them?
Honestly, I'd probably say out of the people that we brought, probably Musiq Soulchild.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like that was someone that I never thought we'd be able to book.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, I couldn't find the right booking agent or manager. And like, I had to go through different people. And
that's another like problem as it is too, is
finding the right people.
Yeah.
And getting the right cosign to get the right price.
Yeah.
You got to remember you're paying people in USD.
Yeah.
So that's a lot when they change over the currency.
Yeah.
But no, it was good to book him because he's someone I kind of grew up on too. Like it was good to see that we were able to make it happen. And I don't know, being able to see that, it was great knowing that I'd booked him for the event and he's posting the event on Instagram, thanking me and obviously our team. Yeah.
It's like a full circle moment there.
Yeah.
Man. So I'm going to see if you actually have any, maybe give me like your top 3 R&B albums, if you could.
Wow. Okay. I'd say Usher Confessions.
Classic.
I'd say Craig David, Born to Do It.
Yep.
And then I'd say Chris Brown's first album.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many though, to be honest.
It's hard to just put it to 3. That's why I was like, it'll probably be a good question to ask.
Yeah.
What about artists? Like, do you still have like like a top 5 then in terms of R&B?
Top 5 in terms of R&B. Wow. Okay. Like there's so many.
Yeah.
So you have to say obviously Chris Brown, Usher.
Yep.
Brandy. Who else is there that is impactful? There's so many, man.
And it's so tough to narrow it down.
Like there's obviously Mary J. Blige, who like like
iconic
I was super young when she came out, but like she had iconic albums. And I mean, man, it's a tough one. So who do you say? Chris Brown, Usher.
Usher, you said Brandy.
Mm-hmm. And then
There's 2 more, right?
Yeah. You're putting me on the spot, man. These are the hard ones. But, yeah, listen, there's a lot of them.
Yeah. We'll just leave the other 2 for a thing. All right, so before we get out of here, we're going to have a this or that game, okay? Vinyl or digital?
During the time when it was just vinyl, it'd be vinyl. Like, I'd love that. But once it went to digital, it was just on digital. But I'd say more so digital, just because on the vinyl era, like you had to like literally like have the tip of the needle. You got to like put water on your hand and rub it on the thing to make sure the lines.
Yeah.
Like you got to ground the wires with the mixer. You hear a humming sound. There's so many different complications.
Oh my god.
So once it went digital, it was fine. Because sometimes you get a wire from the turntable,
yeah.
and you'd literally like unscrew something on the mixer and wrap that wire around
Holy crap.
and then tighten the screw, so that when you played it, it didn't make a sound. But sometimes it would hum,
yeah.
and then you'd have to like take a lighter and light the wire so you can get the actual piece of the actual wire without the cover to tie it around this thing to ground it. It was called grounding, so you ground it. But it was a lot, because sometimes it wouldn't work. Or you'd play some records and then someone would pull up the record and the needle would break and you don't have another needle because you couldn't afford one.
Oh my god.
And guess what? You're only playing on one turntable now.
Yeah.
And that's you can't even really do that.
No.
So I'd say once it went digital, I'd go digital.
Definitely digital.
Yeah.
Do you prefer club set or radio show?
Radio, I feel like radio people can hear you, but the club people can actually feel you because you're there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd go with club. Yeah.
Open format or sticking to one genre?
Open format. I think open format because, and it depends on the taste.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can go open format and still kind of touch the genres you want to play anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Headlining or warming up?
I think headlining in the past.
Yeah.
I think now I wouldn't care. Like,
Yeah.
it's when you get to a point where you've done certain things, you're
Everything
like,
basically.
yeah, like I love, like the other day I had a booking in Calgary, and I literally, my boy, the owner of the spot, was like, I'm going to do a barbecue for my birthday in the evening.
Yeah.
And I said, do you have a DJ? He's like, yeah. Like I said, okay, don't worry, I'm going to bring my stuff too.
Yeah.
And I just went there and literally just played for like 4 hours.
Holy
But
crap.
it was because it just gave me that vibe again. Barbecue, like no one's really paying attention to the music like that, so you can touch records you haven't played in a long time, and it gives you a chance to play music that you haven't played in so long.
In so long, yeah.
Yeah.
So how much does that even mean to you to like have that opportunity to like, when that opportunity comes up, I should say, like to play some things that you haven't played in like years or whatever?
No, it's good, because honestly, I remember times when, like for example, if someone would hire me now, for example, to play somewhere, I'm hired to play the main time.
Yeah.
But the good part about this generation now is you can play anything now.
Yeah.
It's not like, okay, you're playing the main set and you play only the new music. Now it's like you can play the older stuff and go da-da-da-da. But before, we were programmed that the opening DJ would play all the warm-up stuff. And you'd come in and play all the hits.
Yeah.
But now the hits could be from 2016 now.
Yeah,
That
which
makes
is
sense.
crazy. Yeah.
Where it's like people are going to give you more of a reaction for like No Hands than they would for like a new Gunna song, let's just say, who, depending on where you are.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, like, where do you prefer? Like, what was your favorite like club event or club venue to perform at around the world? Doesn't matter where.
To be honest, I'd say one of the best was probably in Singapore.
Yeah.
Like I played at a club called Zouk, and they have one in Vegas as well. But I played in Zouk, Singapore, and man, it was like you could play anything and it would work. But I think it was more just like you having to build with that audience, and they were very engaging. So I think most recently, I'd say probably
that.
Yeah.
That was probably like such a cool experience though too, because you probably didn't know what to expect in terms of like what the people wanted to hear.
You
right?
have no idea. I mean, when I got there, they said it was a hip hop night.
Yeah.
So the DJs before us was playing hip hop, but like they were playing different stuff too, like Mubatan, just different genres of music. But when I went on, I didn't even go that direction. I went more open format.
Yeah.
And it worked. But after it was done, the DJ was like, "Oh, it was a hip hop night."
Yeah.
But I said, "But this is what the people wanted, though.
Yeah.
They wanted to hear Titanium. They wanted to hear like Neo and Pitbull. They wanted to hear those open format records."
Wow.
So again, you're playing not for yourself. That's really important, by the way. You got to play for the people, and that's what they wanted.
Yeah.
Because when I played a couple hip hop records, they weren't really into it.
Yeah.
So I had to do what they wanted. So at the end of the day, it's like I know there's a format and what they wanted to do, but again, you got to do what the people want.
What do you think of DJs who don't do that though? That just kind of want to stick to what they want to hear rather than not listening to.
I mean, I don't know how far that gets you.
Yeah.
I think it's like it depends on what you're doing. Like when I started I Love R&B, I said I want no new R&B.
Yeah.
I only want some 90s and some 2000s.
Yeah.
That's it. But I knew what I was building, and which is why I built it small. But if you're playing in a big room, like that Zouk spot had like 1,700 people in there. So I'm not going in there like I'm already walking in there not knowing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Think about it. this is the first time I'm in Singapore, and this is the first time I'm DJing in a club in Singapore.
Yeah.
It's not even like I had like a week to like go check out the other DJ. No.
Nah.
You land, you go get food. No, you go to the hotel first, and then obviously the check-in's 3 p.m. So you're sitting there for 4 hours.
Yeah.
By the time you're able to check in, well, actually, I left my bags there, went and got food, came back, checked in. Then you learn all the rules. You start walking there. By the way, Singapore is very futuristic. Everything's clean. You can eat off the ground. It's insane.
Wow.
It's kind of like Dubai.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but you start learning rules. Like I asked someone for gum. They're like, oh, don't ask us for gum. Why? They banned people chewing gum. Yeah, but these are things I didn't know.
Yeah, of course. Holy
So
crap.
you're already trying to adapt to like what's going on in this country.
And the whole lifestyle itself.
And by the time you ask the 10th question, guess what? You're in the DJ booth. We're about to go on. Imagine walking into this place. They're bringing me into the green room.
Yeah.
They're telling me they want me to sign their wall, right? I'm signing their wall thinking in my head, like, am I going to kill this tonight or what? Like, they're treating me like I'm the guy.
The guy, yeah.
So I'm here signing the wall and everything. Not to say like I haven't put in work. I have, but I don't know what the audience there knows about me.
Yeah.
So now I'm in the booth and okay, it's just you and the audience. You got to rock it out. You got to figure it out.
Crazy.
So you're there, and this is why open format is important. I came up as like a hip hop, R&B, dancehall type DJ, but again, like I had to learn different genres just in case I got into a situation like this.
Like this at this point.
And again, if you want to spread your wings and do different things, you have to learn other genres. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in that pigeonholed in that one market.
Yeah.
So once I went on and started playing, I'm like, okay, these guys said it's a hip hop night. I'm going to trust them. And that's another problem because you're trusting a guy you don't even know.
Yeah.
He could be either guiding you for you to win
Or to see you lose. It's so crazy.
Because they could be like, why are they bringing this guy here and paying him this amount of money?
Yeah.
Why did they pay me? I'm here every week doing da-da-da-da. And then you go in and play. It's either, you know, sink or swim, you know?
Yeah.
And I think for me, within the first 5 minutes, I knew exactly what was happening. So you got to play it safe. You got to play the records that they know.
Yeah.
And then kind of get into
it after.
more commercial hits or whatever. But
Yo, that's actually so crazy because that's something people probably don't think about too. Is it's like, yo, like people might be just praying for your downfall in a way when they have you here.
yeah, and a lot has to do with people not being comfortable within themselves. And I think that even like, for example, like I remember another gig. Like I've DJed so many gigs, but there's a warm up DJ playing music. And then you tell them, hey, like, how many more do you have before I can go on? They'll say, okay, I'll play for 10 more minutes. But within those 10 minutes, they play not every record, but they play a lot of the records that you might have thought about playing, for example. But it doesn't even make sense. Like they'll play 2016, then 2025, then 2021, then 2015, like.
And it kind of screws you in a way.
All over the place. Yeah. So you have to essentially restart the party again.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's like, like I got to redo this again. But, you know, if you're a DJ, I mean, you can never run out of music. I just feel like there's a way to do what you're supposed to do. Yeah. As a warm-up DJ, you're supposed to set it up for the guy that's hired to do what he needs to do. Because that guy that's coming in to do that was once you. Yeah. And you're going to be him at a certain point. If you continue to do, work hard. Yeah.
Hip hop or R&B?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to say R&B for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dancehall or soca?
It depends on the season, man. Like, like I feel like right now dancehall is taking it, but soca's also doing great. Yeah. But yeah, I like both. I think I'm more of a dancehall person, but I do really enjoy soca now, especially the soca that's coming out now.
Yeah, with Caribana Weekend 2 coming up too.
Yeah. It depends, right? In February, people in Trinidad. Yeah. It's just for carnival.
You ever went to Trinidad?
Yeah, I've actually been there for carnival. I went out once and didn't go back out.
Yeah, it was probably crazy.
I went out. I remember one of the homies was super tight with Marshall, and I remember he said, "Hey, like I'm staying at, one of his cribs or whatever." Yeah. And he told me to come out there. Man, I went out there and I was like, "Man, this is
it's different.
It's different. It's different. Like it's to the point where, and they really protect their country. Yeah. Like I remember walking. So I guess the way Trinidad set up, or where we were like in the hills, so we had to walk. It took us like 20 minutes to get down to the ground.
Holy crap!
Because we're high up. Yeah. And I remember seeing somebody, I think it was another person that was a foreigner as well, that was walking, they threw something on the ground. And the person driving by turned around and got out the car and said, yo, pick that up, throw it in the garbage. Wow. You can't be littering in our country. So that was really good to kind of witness that. Yeah. Like I wouldn't litter anyway, but
I'm
like
how serious they actually are.
Yeah, but then like going to like Maracas Beach and getting the bacon shark, whatever it was. Yeah. Just like, and then experiencing like going to like a club with Marshall and seeing like what's really happening, that was a great experience. Until this day, like I was talking to Marshall the other day, but like, um, yeah, he's gonna be here in a few months. So he's like, hey, make sure you come link up at the show. I haven't seen him in a while,
Yeah, yeah.
but no, I went out once during the day during Carnival, and I was like, man, this is a lot for me.
Nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but
That's
it's
still
great.
my,
It's good. It's great culture. Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah,
still my dream to go, man. I still want to go at some point.
yeah.
Do you prefer throwback music or new school?
Honestly, like you have to play the new school stuff because that's just what it is right now
Yeah.
because it's present day music. But I think more so throwback because it takes me back to certain times and memories and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
All right. The last question before we get out of here is what do you want your legacy in the music industry to be?
What do I want my legacy to be? I mean, I just want to be known for being the person that created opportunity for other people.
Yep.
That's really important to me, and putting people on and making sure that they follow the same trajectory that I did. Because I'm always a people person first. I'm always about community. I'm always about the youth and doing the right thing. I'm not perfect. We all make mistakes, but I think that it's learning from those mistakes and just leaving a legacy that isn't a viral moment. Being
Mhm.
able to like leave things behind that people will always remember. Like, I wrote a children's book and that's going to be here forever.
Yeah.
I dedicated it to my mother. That's something that I always wanted to do. I think for me, it's more than like, it's deeper than rap. It's deeper than music. I
Yeah.
think it's being able to leave a legacy that you're proud of, and being able to do things beyond like I'm DJing 7 nights a week.
Yeah.
Like I've passed that part in my life where I'm like, I want to be able to leave something behind, but more so like going back to your question is just being known for like creating opportunity and being able to, put people on. That's really important to me.
And honestly, like once again, like thank you guys for this opportunity. I'm so grateful to have you here and have you tell your story. Like it really meant a lot to have this opportunity to talk to you about it and hear your story. It's very inspiring, bro, and I appreciate it. So let people know like what you have next and what people can be excited about. What's going on?
I mean, still, obviously like doing the A&R stuff and developing artists all the time and working with different producers and writers. And then we have our events coming up.
Yep.
I'm currently working on a second children's book as well. And then, yeah, other than that, like not much to really, other things are just projects we're building right now. Yeah.
Once again, Charlie B, thank you again for being here, bro. I appreciate you.
No, I
doing this,
appreciate you
man.
too.
It was a lot of fun, man. Thanks, guys, and we're out.